So today we are going to be talking about how to nurture leads into actual paying customers. It is a massive pain point that a lot of businesses have. They have a lot of traffic, for example, but they might not be turning that traffic into paying customers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, lead nurturing is huge. So I think the number one thing that I want to kind of kickstart off is segmenting the leads. So making certain that you're segmenting certain leads that are coming in. So like we've got three different departments. Kind of, it's almost like you've got your first response, which are just like your cold callers type kind of. If the leads are first coming in, and you're not thinking it's very good, or it's coming from like mass email or cold calling and stuff like that. You've got your first response. Your next in line then is your general sales assistants that are coming in, trying to nurture them along the way. And then we've got our sales managers who are great. And now segmenting those leads and being able to put certain leads, if you know are converting well, straight to your sales managers who you know have got the highest conversion rate is important when it comes down to lead segmentation.
Yeah, so the number four for me is actually having case studies and reviews that people can actually take a look at. So many businesses do like a really awesome job. They might be like a really good dentist, or they might be a really good block paving company, and they just don't have any testimonials, or they don't have any before and after photos. If you can start to actually generate like or create this content, whether it's on social media, it doesn't even need to be on your website at times. Like there's so many painting companies that are blowing up on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok just by having like recording what's it called when it's like really quick videos, time lapsed videos. So if you can actually start to record those types of videos and start publishing it, you're naturally going to get more eyeballs on your brand, and people. If again, if you're doing a good job, which I'm going to assume that you are, if you're going to be recording content and stuff, but if you're recording content and you're uploading it, you're just going to get naturally more eyeballs, which leads to more customers in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. And another massive one, number three for me, is multiple touch points. So this is just one within the email funnel or the sales funnel, but also in the marketing campaign. So making certain that as lead comes in, there's times where we'll still run retargeting ads, like what you just said there with regards to case studies and testimonials. We'll still nurture that kind of customer, even though they've inquired, for them to see case studies and testimonials via retargeting ads. But then when we've got them in the sales funnel, how quickly are we following up as part of that with regards to the multiple touch points? Are we giving enough time that we're not mithering them, but doing it quick enough for them not to be able to go elsewhere, making certain we're answering all objections that they might have? And that follow-up and sequencing is very important, in my opinion, to get from like nurturing from a cold web lead to an actual order.
What one thing to just add to what you've just said, Google done like a case study a few years ago, and they've came across the 7, 11, and 4 rule. So spend 7 hours engaging with your brand's content, have 11 interactions or touch points with the brand, and engage across 4 different platforms. So the 4 different platforms could be like email, Facebook ads, your website, and PPC or TikTok, for example. So just always bear that in mind. Another or number 2 for me would be creating targeted content. So many people produce very generic content that just doesn't go into much depth. Like for example, whenever me and James sit down and do a video together, we're always talking about like how to generate more leads. This is how you do it. This is like the advanced strategies. This is the basic strategies. If you can cover that for your own industry, whether it's like solar panels or dentistry or whatever you're doing, you're going to get more inquiries. So although it might be very low amounts of views, it'll be very high intent. So just remember that when you're producing any content.
Yeah, for sure. I think that goes also on the lead nurturing side, not just for on the marketing side, but being able to obviously nurture them along the way on it. So yeah, completely agree. And then the next one is actually just having a really like the number one thing for me is having an absolutely amazing offer. Like it's fine, you can have the best testimonials and branding in the world, you can have the best case studies in the world, but you still need to provide value that they feel that it's a good offer. Because if you're too expensive, people aren't going to go with you. and it's got to be good value for money. So there's so many times where, especially if people are turning into a subscription, maybe you give the first month subscription completely for free, maybe even the first 3 months completely for free, knowing that the lifetime value is going to be good. But the amount of times that you need to get that initial hook and have that great offer, I think is the most important part from when you're nurturing it, just to get them from a cold web lead again to actually becoming a paying customer. It's so difficult to get that first payment out of someone. So can you do it where you're doing like tripwire marketing, where you're only asking them for a little bit, knowing that further down the line you're going to be asking for a little bit more? I think that's a big point. Trying to get them from not paying to being a paying, even if it's just a small amount, is one of the biggest parts of lead nurturing.
Yeah, so that has been our video on how to nurture leads into paying customers and clients. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And if you're struggling with lead generation, or maybe you just want more leads for your business at no risk at all for yourself, head over to fatrank.com, fill in the contact form, and the team will be in touch with you. Thanks for watching.